This is the OSight Model C, an RMR footprint multiple reticle reflex sight, and yes, it has a user replaceable battery. And if you'd like to see me test the new OSight Model C, well, hit the like and subscribe button right now and we'll get started. Let's skip the boring unboxing videos and just take a look at what you get inside the box. This is the new OSight C micro red dot, or miniaturized ruggedized reflex sight, however you want to call it. It is a pretty compact little reflex sight. It's all, I'd say, a little bit under 2 inches long, a little over an inch wide, and a little over an inch tall. And this is about the size of a standard reflex sight, but because of its squared off design, it actually gives you a larger window overall than most standard reflex sights that fit on top of your pistol. And this has it's cut for an RMR cut slide, so this will mount directly onto an RMR cut slide with 19 millimeters tall and 23 millimeters of window space. And this also, if you look on the other side here, that's right, it has a battery tray, and this uses a standard 1632 coin battery. So for those of you who were a little concerned about the original OSight, which was the first wireless recharging reflex sight, who were worried about their charge on their red dot going out and having to recharge it, well, now you can just swap out a coin battery for those of you who insist on running a coin battery. And this supposedly will run up to 100,000 hours on low brightness on the dot. So that is over 10 years of battery life. So that is quite impressive. Now this has actually 3 different reticle types: a dot, 3 MOA dot, and a 32 MOA circle, and you can combine it for a circle and dot. You can't really see that very clearly, the dot here. If I switch it to the other reticle and just press the minus for about 3 seconds, that switches the reticle, but this table's a little too close, so let's take that. We'll have to take this out to the range to look at those different reticles. But you press the minus button for 3 seconds to change the reticle type, and to turn it off you press both buttons, and you turn it on, you press the plus button, and you can of course use these plus and minuses to adjust the brightness. There are a total of 10 brightness settings, and the lowest ones are night vision compatible. And this also has motion activation, so if you leave this alone for 3 or 4 minutes, it will go into sleep mode, turn off the reticle to conserve battery life, and then as soon as you pick it up, it will turn automatically on. And of course you can manually turn it off by pressing both buttons together. Now this is adjusted, and you can also open the battery tray using this handy tool that it comes with, kind of a cool looking skull shaped tool. One end has a Torx head for attaching the unit. It comes with a generous selection of Torx star screws here, different heights, different threads. So yeah, good on OSight for giving you quite a variety of different screws. So you should be able to find yours. And then the other side has a flathead to adjust your windage and elevation. Let's take a listen. That is audible and tactile positive, and our windage, very audible and tactile positive. Each of the clicks is 1 MOA, so you'll be able to easily adjust that. So let's get this mounted up, and we'll be testing this out. Just to clarify to our YouTube censors and Google overlords that this is not a firearm, so I am not modifying a firearm. This is simply a metal block that I have this attached to. But for those of you who are curious, yes, the OSight C base of the OSight C is just like a fraction of a millimeter lower than the factory iron sights on this metal block here. So yeah, you can absolutely co-witness this. As long as you have your dot just riding on top of your front sight post, there you go, you are absolutely co-witnessed. So long as you're using an RMR cut slide and not using an adapter, there you go. So isn't that handy? Alright, so we have the OSight C here, and you can see as I move it around the edge of our window, it is equally sharp from edge to edge. There's no distortions, especially on the outer edges of our view. It's a nice, generous window. And I'm going to lock it off here, and we'll take a look at our different brightness settings. Now, that is the very top, the brightest mode. You can see it blink there. And I'm going to bring it down to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the dimmest, you can't even see, but if you could, it would be blinking. All right, let's go up from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there you see it blinking again, telling you it is at the very top of its brightness. And if you press the minus button for 3 seconds, it'll switch the reticle. There you go, your 3 MOA dot. Pressing it again. After 3 seconds, it goes to the 32 MOA circle, or sun. And then pressing it again, we get our circle and dot. Alright, we're going with the OSight C. I put up a target at 20 yards and shot through a couple of mags with the OSight C on my pistol. I experienced no flickering, no problems. Alright, before we get into what I think of the OSight C, I just want to remind you to hit that like button right now, and the subscribe button and the notification bell buttons, which are absolutely free. And as an extra incentive, well, if you're a subscriber and you've hit the notification bell button, you'll be notified when I post up details of the free contest to win one of these. That's right, OSight is giving one away and letting me pick the winner in my weekly live stream contest. So check that out and become a subscriber, because you can't win one of these unless you've entered. And I'd like to thank OSight for sending out one of these for me to test out, as well as offering the prize for the contest. Now, I have to say that a lot of folks, when the OSights first came out, they were the first wireless recharging reflex sight, and they were concerned about having any kind of rechargeable reflex sight. They were concerned about their battery dying and not being able to swap it out for a fresh battery. Well, now you have no excuse, because this uses a standard 1632 coin battery, and I think that's probably where the C comes out. Coin, maybe, perhaps. But yeah, you just swap out the battery on here, and it comes with a tray, so you don't have to remove it from your sight. You don't have to remove the sight from your slide to swap out the battery. You can just unscrew it and it slides right out, and you can swap out the battery. There you go. And they claim 100,000 hours, which is over 10 years of battery life when you have it on its lowest brightness, visible brightness mode, which is level 3, and you have it on the dot. Yeah, that is a crazy long time. And of course that'll vary depending on ambient temperature or the kind of reticle you use. But I like the fact that you can choose between 3 different reticles. In fact, I think the OSight is probably the best value in reflex sights out there. They've got all the features that everybody wants. They're very low profile, and they're very ruggedly made. Yeah, you could probably argue about that, because yeah, there are a lot of other better known name brands out there for a lot more money, by the way. But yeah, and caveat here, I am not a law enforcement tactical person. I am not a 3-gun competitor. So yeah, I am not banging this up on the daily in training, but in terms of my average use of it at pistol, falling plates matches, action pistol at my club, and just plinking, I've not had a single problem with any of the OSights that I own. But let me know in the comments if you've had any experiences, good or ill, with OSight, and let us all know about that, because I'm only going off of a sample of one. But if you are interested in picking up the OSight C, you can find more details as well as information in my full written review at moondogindustries.com. You'll find a link to that article in this video's description. So thanks for taking the time to read that article, and thanks for taking the time to watch this video. God bless, and good luck on that contest. Moondog, out. Hey, I'd like to know what you thought of this video. Leave me a comment or chat with me on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, MeWe, Instagram, or Locals. And if you want to see all of my videos, go to moondogindustries.com.